Imagine a world where you could bandage a plant or an AI could predict harmful gene mutations before they even happen. Um, Sounds pretty wild, right? Well, that's exactly what we are diving into today.
It's February 21st, 2025, and this is your personalized deep dive of current events tailor-made for the UPSC aspirant.
And we're just getting started with part one. Buckle up because we're about to explore some truly groundbreaking developments that could shape our future.
As always, we won't just tell you what happened, but we'll dissect why it matters, providing you with those in-depth insights UPSC examiners love.
Exactly. And hey, even if some of these topics ring a bell, think of this as your power-packed revision session. You know the drill. Hit that like button and subscribe to stay ahead of the game in your UPSC preparations.
Now let's kick things off with a story that's both fascinating and a bit unsettling.
Nauru, the world's smallest republic, is facing a dire threat from rising sea levels.
And get this, their solution is selling citizenships to raise funds for relocation.
It's a drastic measure, but it highlights the very real consequences of climate change, particularly for vulnerable island nations.
Nauru's story is made even more complex by its history. They relied heavily on phosphate mining, which unfortunately ravaged much of the island,
Leaving it even more susceptible to the rising seas.
It's a stark reminder that environmental issues can trigger a whole chain of social and economic consequences. And trust me, this is something you'll encounter time and again in your UPSC studies.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears to a story that made waves in Tasmania.
Over 150 false killer whales, and yes, they're actually a type of dolphin, were found stranded on a beach.
It's a heartbreaking sight, and often a sign of something amiss in the ocean ecosystem.
You see, whale strandings can be caused by a whole host of factors: pollution, noise disturbances, even shifts in their food sources.
And with climate change throwing ocean currents and temperatures out of whack, we might see these incidents become even more frequent.
It's definitely a cause for concern. Now, speaking of complex situations, let's dive into the ongoing dispute between Tamil Nadu and Kerala over the 125-year-old Mullaperiyar Dam.
The National Dam Safety Authority, or NDSA, is stepping in to try and mediate.
Dam safety and interstate water disputes are hot-button issues in India, and this case is a prime example of how real-world events directly link to your UPSC syllabus.
The NDSA was created to regulate, inspect, and resolve these very disputes, ensuring the safety of these massive structures and balancing the interests of different states.
And considering India has over 5,700 dams, the NDSA has its work cut out for them.
Talk about a massive responsibility. Okay, from a potential crisis to a potential solution. Scientists are buzzing about a major breakthrough in nuclear fusion.
The West Tokamak reactor in France just set a world record, sustaining a plasma for over 22 minutes.
For those who aren't familiar, nuclear fusion is the process that powers the sun itself.
It involves fusing atomic nuclei together, releasing a tremendous amount of energy. If we can harness this power here on Earth, it could be a game changer in our fight against climate change.
It's mind-boggling to think we're essentially creating mini-suns right here on Earth.
It's pretty incredible, but while this breakthrough is exciting, we need to be realistic. Practical fusion energy is still a while away.
We've got some serious technological hurdles to overcome, like containing that superheated plasma for extended periods and developing materials tough enough to withstand those extreme conditions.
Exactly. It's a long road ahead, but the potential benefits are enormous. Now let's zoom in on another development with global implications.
Brazil, a major oil producer, has just joined OPEC, plus the Alliance of Oil Exporting Nations.
This move is sending ripples through the global energy landscape. OPEC Plus already controls a massive chunk of the world's oil supply, and their decisions have a direct impact on oil prices and, by extension, economies worldwide.
So Brazil joining the club could mean even more volatile oil markets in the future. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Now for a story that beautifully blends science and tradition.
The Mysing tribe, Assam's largest tribal community, recently celebrated their unique agricultural festival, Ali Ai Digong.
This festival is deeply intertwined with the Mysing people's relationship with rivers and their traditional farming practices. It's a vibrant testament to India's incredible cultural diversity.
And a great reminder for UPSC aspirants that understanding the significance of these traditions is crucial.
Absolutely. Now hold on to your hats because this next one might sound like science fiction, but it's very much a reality.
Scientists have created bandages for plants using bacteria.
It might sound a bit quirky, but this discovery has massive potential for agriculture and food security.
These bacterial bandages are made from cellulose produced by certain bacteria. They can help plants heal faster from injuries, which could lead to healthier crops and higher yields.
It's amazing how seemingly unrelated fields like microbiology and agriculture can come together to create innovative solutions. Okay, ready for another dose of cutting-edge tech.
NVIDIA, the company behind those powerful AI chips, has unveiled Evo 2, a brand new AI system specifically designed for genetic research. And get this, it's trained on a colossal data set of nearly 9 trillion pieces of genetic data from over 1,228,000 organisms.
That's almost impossible to grasp. What are the practical applications of this kind of AI power?
Well, imagine being able to predict an individual's likelihood of developing certain diseases or even identify potentially harmful genetic mutations before they cause any problems.
Evo 2 is a big step toward making that a reality. It can analyze massive amounts of genetic information, potentially revolutionizing fields like healthcare and personalized medicine.
It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but we can't forget about the potential downsides.
We need to proceed with caution, especially when it comes to AI in sensitive areas like healthcare.
Data privacy, algorithm bias, and the possibility of misuse are all crucial factors to consider.
It's a tightrope walk between pushing the boundaries of what's possible and ensuring that AI is developed and used responsibly.
Now let's turn our attention to a report that's raising concerns about the environmental impact of a major cultural event.
The Central Pollution Control Board, or CPCB, has released a report highlighting water quality issues at the Maha Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj.
The Maha Kumbh Mela attracts millions of pilgrims, making it a logistical and environmental challenge.
And that's where the CPCB comes in.
They're responsible for setting pollution control standards and advising the government on environmental matters, playing a critical role in ensuring the event's sustainability.
It's a classic example of the challenges in balancing religious practices with environmental protection, a topic that often comes up in UPSC discussions.
Exactly, and it underscores the need for innovative solutions to minimize the environmental footprint of such massive gatherings.
Well, that wraps up part one of our deep dive into February 21st's most important current events, curated especially for you, the UPSC aspirant. We've covered a lot of ground.
From climate change challenges to groundbreaking scientific advancements and vibrant cultural celebrations.
But we're not done yet. Stay tuned for part two, where we'll continue exploring these issues and their relevance for your UPSC journey.
Welcome back to your deep dive into the most significant current events of February 21st, 2025, tailored specifically for the UPSC aspirant. We're picking up right where we left off, so if you haven't caught part one yet, be sure to give that a listen.
And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep those insights coming your way. Now let's shift our focus to a story that highlights the incredible potential of human ingenuity, ISRO. The Indian Space Research Organization has just developed a massive 10-ton vertical planetary mixer for solid propellants.
What's remarkable here is not just the sheer scale of this mixture, but what it represents India's commitment to self-reliance in space technology. A propellant mixer is a vital component in rocketry, ensuring the fuel mixture is perfectly blended for a successful launch. This development is a major step forward for India's space program.
It's definitely a proud moment for ISRO. And speaking of advancements, let's revisit a topic we touched on earlier, AI, and its potential impact on healthcare. Remember Evo 2, NVIDIA's groundbreaking AI system for genetic research?
Here's a fascinating detail we didn't get to. In Part 1, Evo 2's applications extend beyond healthcare. It's making waves in materials science as well. Imagine using AI to design new materials with specific properties, lighter, stronger, more durable. The possibilities are practically endless.
It's incredible how AI is revolutionizing so many different fields. It makes you wonder, what can't AI do these days?
That's a great question. While AI is a powerful tool, it's important to remember that it's not a magic solution. AI systems are only as good as the data they're trained on, and they can sometimes perpetuate existing biases if we're not careful.
That's a crucial point. It's a reminder that even with incredible technological advancements, ethical considerations and human oversight remain paramount. And we are back for the final part of our deep dive into the most important current events of February 21st, 2025, curated specifically for you, the UPSC aspirants.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From the depths of an ocean with those stranded whales all the way to the frontiers of space with ISRO's groundbreaking propellant mixer.
It's been quite a journey. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay ahead of the curve in your UPSC preparations. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture. What are some of the key takeaways that stood out to you?
One thing that really struck me is this recurring theme of balancing progress with responsibility. We see it everywhere, from the NDSA's efforts to manage dam safety and interstate water disputes, to the ongoing quest for sustainable energy solutions, and even in the development of AI systems like Ego 2.
Yeah, I completely agree. It highlights the complex challenges facing policymakers and leaders today.
Finding solutions that benefit society without unintended consequences. That requires careful consideration, a holistic approach. It's not easy.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that the UPSC exam isn't just about memorizing facts. It's about understanding these complex interconnections and analyzing issues from multiple perspectives.
Exactly. It's about connecting the dots, seeing the bigger picture. That's what sets successful UPSC candidates apart.
So to all the aspiring civil servants out there, today's deep dive has hopefully given you not just a rundown of the news, but its framework for thinking about the challenges and opportunities facing India and the world.
Remember, the UPSC exam tests not only your knowledge, but your ability to apply that knowledge to real-world situations.
So as you continue your preparation, keep asking those why questions, challenge assumptions, and always try to understand the broader implications of the events shaping our world.
That's some great advice.
We've packed a lot into today's deep dive, and we hope you found it both informative and thought-provoking.
Until our next dive into the world of current affairs, keep those brains buzzing, and best of luck with your UPSC journey.